Hi, I'm Thembi,
I'm Jonathan.
and today on How to Learn, we're going to be discussing how do you learn through asking? Is asking a simple skill or is it something that you do over time? And so when Jonathan and I were just talking about it, something that came to my mind, an example was when I first started out in a role, I was able to ask a question throughout the whole week, had loads of questions to ask, and then I just went silent, I just didn't ask any more questions. And I had a good manager at the time, and she was saying, "Have you got any questions?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." Whereas I wasn't fine. I had loads of questions to ask, but I just didn't want to seem like I didn't know how I was doing my job. So I didn't ask any of those questions that I needed to ask.
Did you
So,
sort of feel
uh,
you had a quota of questions to, you could only ask 85 questions and after that you had to stop and just get on with it and be competent?
yeah, absolutely. I put so much pressure on myself to absorb everything and just know how to do things straight away, which isn't realistic, is it?
It's not. I think it is a life skill to go back to your first question. And it's
Yeah.
not a skill that's immediately obvious. You just think, oh, you ask questions or you don't. So I can see in myself areas where I've got better over time at asking questions, I think. And
Yeah.
areas where I haven't, definitely. And so one area where I've definitely got better is in asking stupid questions. You're supposed to ask those at the beginning when they're not stupid. But I feel with
What are stupid
experience,
questions?
yeah, just trivial questions, questions you think everybody else in the room knows the answer to this, but I don't. So why am I bothering people? Or I
Yeah.
should know this. I've sort of got better at that because I'm just more confident elsewhere, I think. So if I don't understand an acronym or I don't understand a phrase, or I've just got no idea what's going on, I just kind of say it. And I think,
Yeah.
leading a team is a good thing to role model as well, because then it hopefully gives other people permission to ask their own stupid brackets, not at all stupid questions. So I think that's valid. I've got better at that.
Yeah, and that's something that you probably wouldn't have thought about, would you? Because
No.
when I go back to that example, that line manager did pull me aside and did say, Tembi, if you're not asking any questions within the first couple of months of you joining an organization, you're doing a role that you have no clue about. I don't think you're doing the job. So ask questions. And I was like, I thought I had, for me, it just opened up my mind, like, ask questions. And it goes back to your point. Is it a stupid question? No, it's a curious question. It's a question to help you bridge the skills gap or bridge an area of unknown. You don't know how to do something.
I think
Yeah.
that's a great way of framing it. It's part of the job. Asking questions is part of the job, and it's part of learning. Just get on with it. But there are genuine psychological barriers, and just
Yeah,
from
there are.
myself, there's introversion, lack of confidence, lack of
Yeah.
experience, just a sort of inherent unwillingness to bother people, which is sort of
Yeah.
misplaced empathy. You're sort of I don't want to trespass on their time, but actually sometimes people are really happy to have their time trespassed on to ask questions. They feel great, they're helping. Everybody loves to help. You've got to ask in the right way, I suppose, and pick the right moment. But
Pick the
people
right
actually like
person as well.
pick the right person. Yeah. Do you think there are different profiles of askees? People who react in different
Yes,
ways.
definitely. There's people that I've so I'm in the space, I'm very curious. So sometimes I just don't even know how to articulate the question that I've got a burning desire to ask because I'm not even sure what I'm asking. So I could
Yeah.
ask someone to say, "What's that? What's that thing there? I don't understand it, but I really want to understand it. Can you help me understand it?" And some people are like, "Yeah, sure." And just go off into we'll just go off into so many different spaces and I'll just be absorbing it. Or if I go to another person and say, "Oh, I've got a question about this," and it's like, "Well, what's your specific question?" "Oh, I'm not really quite sure, but okay, so oh, go back, think about what you're asking,
Yeah.
and then come back to me." So I'm like, I'm just, how about, I'm just struggling. I'm just curious. Can you just tell me how you do that?
So pick your moment, pick your person. If a really senior person is walking fast down a corridor with an armful of
Oh
papers and
gosh,
their laptop, that's not the moment to say, "I'm a bit stuck." But
no.
if you've got a very specific question, that might be the moment to come in with it. I'll tell you one thing I'm not willing to get better at, and that is asking for
What?
directions. Asking for directions. And
Oh,
I think I may be, talking on behalf of some men here, if not all men, but not to generalize, just me. Okay, sometimes, yeah, you can ask for directions, and that's really helpful. Sometimes you get a bad answer, But sometimes I just want to puzzle it out by myself. So this is a failing, but I don't think I'm going to plan on getting better at this. I'm just going to carry on
Oh,
getting lost while my wife sits there and says, "Why don't you ask
okay.
somebody?" So,
Exactly. We're opposites. I will continuously ask for directions, even if they give me the wrong direction, and I'll ask the other person for the right direction, but I will ask for directions.
more fun that way. Brilliant. You do that. And if you're really introverted, you can ask questions by opening a book, going on YouTube, asking Gen AI, all sorts of ways. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be humans, but it's part of the job to ask humans questions. Love it.
But it's definitely important to always ask questions, especially if you're new in a role. Ask the questions continuously.
There we go. Ask us questions in the comments if you want to. But even better, find a human, I think, a real live person to ask. But we're always happy to respond. So that was How to Learn. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.